Hi, I'm Tom Niedermeyer with the AMF Maintenance Training School. Welcome to our partnership program Maintenance Matters video series. Today we will be featuring the Pinspotter's sweep assembly. When working on or in the Pinspotter, AMF strongly recommends that the power plug to the Pinspotter be removed and the plug placed into a lockout box. The box is then locked so that only the mechanic who has removed the power plug can re-energize the Pinspotter. Our sweep assembly has the function of guarding the table while the table is spotting and respotting pins. Also, it is used to sweep the dead wood from the lane when necessary. It's controlled primarily by its own motor and the exact stop points by these various cams and levers here. These control not only the stop points but the timing so that the table and sweep operate smoothly together. With our maintenance, we would be observing the operation of the sweep, where it stops, how smoothly it operates, and we'd be looking at the clearance at the home position between this stabilizer link and this bolt on the box beam of the machine. We put some white tape on the head of this bolt and also on the stabilizer link so that we can see the clearance here. We recommend a minimum of a ½ inch clearance so that there's no possibility of striking when we come up through the home position. But as you see here, we have a little more. It really doesn't matter as long as we have no less than a ½ inch clearance at this point. We always inspect hardware to make sure that all attaching bolts are secure. This includes where the sweep bar assembly is attached to its bracket. Earlier sweep bar assemblies had a floating bracket that allowed the sweep to move up and down. However, now we have a rigid bracket that we use so that the sweep is tight and it eliminates a lot of bounce when the sweep comes to the guard position. We also would be inspecting here where our sweep bracket is attached to the support link. That's where you see these 4 bolts. This is a rubber bracket. Steel on 2 sides, rubber in the middle. It's a vibration or shock mount. Allows the sweep to absorb some impact when it removes the pins from the deck. They may separate after a period of time, so we would also inspect these very closely. What we're looking at here on the left front corner of the machine, we would also inspect on the right front corner of the machine, both sides being identical. Where all of the sweep linkage is put together, there are flange bearings that are replaceable. So we would inspect for an excessive amount of wear, looseness, and all of these bearings could be replaced. When the links are put together correctly, we should be able to draw a straight line from the center of the connection right up through the center of the link. This would ensure that we have put this together correctly. With the sweep at guard position, we're concerned with the clearance between the sweep shield and the channel. We want enough clearance so you can slip your fingers under easily to ensure that the shield will not strike when the sweep drops to guard. Should we need to change the height of the sweep at the guard position, it is done here at this link on the side frame of the machine. We would loosen this jam nut, bring this link out to raise the sweep, or bring this link into the bracket farther to lower the sweep at the guard position. This would need to be done on each side of the machine since both sides of the sweep are controlled separately. Our inspection continues by bringing the sweep back to the 5-pin position, where once again we're looking at the clearance between the sweep bar assembly and the deck itself. Should that be incorrect, this bracket on the side frame of the machine can be lowered in order to raise the sweep or raised in order to lower the sweep. Again, this would need to be done on both sides of the machine to get the correct height and to keep the sweep level. We would also watch the travel of the sweep to the tail plank, making certain that the sweep travels far enough to remove any wood on the deck no matter how far it's been moved, but also we're concerned that the sweep bar never extends beyond the tail plank. The possibility would then exist of catching a pin there and possibly locking the sweep up at this 180-degree position. Should we need to change the sweep travel to the tail plank, we would do it here on the right front corner of the machine at this connecting rod. This rod has right-hand thread on one end, left-hand thread on the other, so we would only need to loosen the jam nuts and turn the rod to change the travel of the sweep. There is only one of these rods, so we don't need to do this on both sides of the machine. However, when we change the length of this rod, we would also change the height of the sweep at the home position, and we would need to go back and check to make sure we still have sufficient clearance when the sweep is home. It's a little easier to look at some of these parts off of the machine to point out what we should really be looking for in our preventative maintenance. And here with our sweep bar assembly, we're concerned with this sweep bar cap. It's held on with 3 pop rivets. This urethane cap needs to be in there, or we'll have a sweep that'll ride over pins that may be in the flat channel of our machine. Now, this, of course, is on both sides. We mentioned earlier that the original sweep bar assemblies were on a bracket with a slide. The newer brackets are rigid, which again will help to prevent the sweep riding over pins that are in the flat channel. The drive link has flange bushings. In our visual inspection, we would simply be listening to and looking at the machine to see how much free movement there was in the drive link. And we'll notice that on this drive link assembly, there appears to be a bolt that really doesn't do much. This is an anti-collapse bolt, so that in the event of a link failure, the rest of the linkage cannot collapse and break an end off. So in normal operation, nothing touches this anti-collapse bolt. Above the drive link, we have our stabilizer link, and there's a bumper here. This cushions the link when it goes from guard to the home position. We inspect the bumper, make sure it's not sticky or excessively worn. And our telescoping link assembly. We inspect the urethane bumper on this link and the condition of the rod ends. And speaking of rod ends, we would check the condition of all rod ends associated with the travel of our link. The link assemblies that we find on the front of the sweep, there are 3 of these identical units on each side with replaceable flange bushings. So with extensive wear, we can replace these in order to tighten up the sweep. This completes our overview on the Pinspotter sweep assembly. For more detailed information, you are invited to attend the mechanics training program offered in Richmond, Virginia.